Nvidia reports earnings tomorrow, May 22nd. And yesterday, we detected 3 unusual trades on Nvidia stock, one of which is worth $8.8 million. So in this video, we will analyze these unusual option activities to find out how wealthy investors are trading Nvidia for earnings. Are they bullish or bearish? Because as we all know, the rich have more access to information, including insider information such as earnings reports, to make better financial decisions on Wall Street. No wonder the rich get richer. Before we get into the data analysis, we can see from the charts that Nvidia is currently trading near its all-time high that was made on March 8th. If you've been following our channel, you know that on March 8th, there were unusual option activity that we had analyzed worth $780 million. So if you missed out on this video, we'll put a link at the top here. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on these unusual trades. In this video, we shared our option strategy, the trade, which we are still in. You can see over here, there were for these June 21st options. Right over here at the 1000 strike call and the 1010 strike call, our positions over here. And if we take a look at the trade now, you can see that it is slightly profitable, even though Nvidia is not above $1,000. Okay. Whereas the unusual options that we had analyzed over here is actually at a loss. Negative 6,000 per trade. Okay. So quite a substantial difference here by using our strategies. So if you are interested in our analysis work and our option strategies, make sure to go to our website. We'll put a link at the top here. Okay, because not all of these trades will work out. In fact, Nvidia is a stock that has a lower chance of profit because of all the data that comes from these wealthy investors trading on a daily basis. Every day, there are wealthy investors trading this in the millions. And so the data is not as accurate as another stock that has essentially maybe one wealthy investor trading it, because then we are more clear in the data analysis of whether or not it's bullish or bearish. Okay, so if you want access to the higher chance of profit trades, then make sure to go to our website. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at Nvidia's 3 unusual trades that happened yesterday. From the option time and sales tape, we can see these unusual trades. The first one, you can see over here, 1,375 contracts. That happened at the last hour on May 20th, yesterday, at 3:02 p.m. at the 25-second mark. Now that's very important because this trade had another trade in combination with this one. So we have to analyze both of those options. These are the June 2025 options, 750 strike puts. We can see at this same time over here at 3:02 25-second mark, we have 500 contracts for the same expiration date, June 2025, the 950 strike puts. Okay, but less quantity. All right, so it's very important to look at the entire trade, and that's one of the differences between our analysis work compared to other websites or scanners. They only look at one option, and that's why they get it wrong a lot more than we do, because you have to look at the bigger picture. to understand exactly what these trades mean in order to increase the interpretation accuracy of unusual option activity. All right, so for this trade, we can see that it's a ratio spread because of the difference in the contract quantity. And when we analyze the trade, we can see from the trading day yesterday, May 20th, and we take a look at the chain for the June 2025s, and we take a look at these strike prices, we can see that at the 750 strike puts, the open interest was just 500, and the volume of 1,500, that's greater than the open interest, so we know these are opening trades. Okay. Over at the 950, the open interest is slightly greater than the 500. So these could potentially be closing trades. Okay, so keep that in mind. When we analyze this trade to find out if it's bullish or bearish, we can find out more exactly what this wealthy investor is trading Nvidia for earnings and what their mindset is like. At 750 strike puts, we saw that they were buying these puts, and the ratio was a 1375 contracts. And for the 950s, they were selling these, 500 of them. And so when we analyze the trade, you can see here, let's take off our trade here. You can see that this is their trade here now. This is a back ratio strategy. And you can see what happens is on the x-axis here, this is the share price of Nvidia. And over here is the profit. If it's above zero, if it's below, it is a loss. So if the lines are above, it is a profit. So you can see the profit starts to increase if Nvidia drops. Okay. So this could potentially be a hedge trade, because if Nvidia goes up, while it is a loss, it is actually limited losses, because you can see that the blue line is capped here. Okay. It does not increase or decrease even if Nvidia rallies considerably. The blue line stays fixed. Okay, so in some way, this investor is worried that Nvidia could rally substantially, while at the same time is nervous that Nvidia could drop and wants to protect their shares. Perhaps they may have underlying shares and they're using this option strategy to hedge their trades that they have on stocks. Okay, so that's our interpretation of this trade. Let's move on to a second trade that we detected. You can see here 1,000 contracts here done at the same time again at 11:02 a.m. here. June 21st options, these are the 960 strike calls and the 1020 strike calls. And we can see how much they paid here, right? So what is the total amount here? 56.25. We have to multiply by 100 since this is options pricing and each option represents 100 shares of stock. So each of these contracts was 5,625, but since they sold for 3,365, this is a net cost of 2,260 per contract. Times 1,000 contracts, this trade was $2.2 million. Okay. And what are they doing? Let's take a look at the chain for this trade. This is June 21st. And we can go to the strike prices to see if these 1,000 contracts were opening or closing. You can see here at the 960 strikes, there was an open interest of 3,900. So we can't be 100% sure that these were opening trades. There's a chance that they are, though, even though the open interest is greater, but we can't be 100% sure. And when we take a look at the 1,020 strikes, also see here, there's 2,600 open interest as well. So both these strike prices have an open interest greater than 1,000. So the data is not as clear. As we mentioned before, that Nvidia stock has a lot of data. And so that's why trading Nvidia is a lower chance of profit trade in comparison to the trades that we share on our website. Now for the third trade, okay, what we found were these 800 contracts. Now it may seem like this is not a lot, but take a look at this trade in detail. Look at the price here. How much are they paying here? Right, for these 1,000 strike calls and 1,400 strike calls. Even though these expire December 2026, it is still unusual that they are putting on this trade before earnings. And that's something that we want to pay attention to, especially the cost on this trade, because you can see here 304.11 times 100, each contract was $30,000, right? So we can subtract the 19361 for the other option to get a net cost if each contract was $11,050. And since there was 800 contracts, we multiply by 800 and we get $8.8 million. And what's also unusual about this trade, and more significant and meaningful, is that when we take a look at the option chain for these December 2026 options at the 1,000 strike calls, we can see that even though this 100,000 strike call open interest was 2,700, which is greater than 800, for the 1,400, we can see here that the open interest was just 445. So we know that these are opening trades. So that helps us understand a little bit more as to what this wealthy investor is doing, right? What they are doing. We can analyze this trade over here by analyzing it on the profit loss diagram. They were buying these 1,000 strike calls and selling the 1,400 strike calls. And so when we analyze this trade, you can see that this is a vertical call spread that is bullish. Okay, it's the same type of strategy as our trade that we are currently in, this one. This is also a vertical call spread that we are in. Okay, so if you want to learn why we entered this trade when Nvidia hit an all-time high, then make sure to watch this video on March 8th when we analyze $780 million. Let us know in the comments below, what do you think will happen to Nvidia? Will it go up or down for earnings? And check out our website if you want access to the higher chance of profit trades, not like this one here. As usual, please smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.